Well, hello everybody, I'm Ron Fudge and welcome to QTV News Magazine Online, your internet source for local gay news, information, and entertainment 24/7. Let's take a look now at news of the day that's gay from around the Bay.
After nearly 2 weeks of deliberation, the jury in the Gwen02 murder trial was deadlocked and deliberations were declared a mistrial. Protesters took to the streets as the shockwave of reaction spread throughout the LGBT community.
Jury and Hayward were unable to decide if these three men were guilty of first-degree or second-degree murder. However, according to the district attorney's office, we know that they rejected manslaughter and they had rejected acquittal. This is true despite weeks and weeks of almost a constant barrage of negative stereotypes about transgender people.
The LGBT public has been outraged because the defense presented the idea that murder was somehow justified because the three men were deceived by Gwen, who was a transgender, and robbed of their heterosexuality.
What did it mean to Gwen that she was murdered or manslaughtered? Gwen is dead based on stupid, petty prejudice, and we cannot as a community stand up to that.
Protesters gathered at Harvey Milk Plaza in the Castro, listening to community leaders. Chris Daly, co-founder of the Transgender Law Center, led the charge.
First, keep the pressure on. Do not let the Alameda County District Attorney's Office back away from their promise to us today.
That's right.
Keep the pressure on in the newspapers, keep the pressure on in our communities, keep the pressures on in the East Bay.
The Alameda County District Attorney vowed to see that justice is done and promised the three defendants would be recharged with the crime and tried again. Supervisors Tom Amiano and Bevan Dufty were quick to react.
Today we introduced a resolution at the Board of Supervisors co-sponsored by Bevan Dufty calling on the Alameda criminal justice system to recharge the three defendants and to also, as they recharge, to consult with the LGBT community.
Immediately, thoughts went to the Dan White conviction of 25 years ago, when the man who murdered Harvey Milk and Mayor Moscone served only 3 years of a 7-year sentence, claiming that junk food made him unstable and therefore less culpable for his crime.
You know, 25 years ago with the Dan White trial, the jury was selected and it reflected all the institutional bias against gay people, and that is where the criminal justice system needs to be reformed.
And reform takes work. Today, the LGBT community is organized and poised to act as never before.
So the more that everybody can write letters and pass resolutions and make it clear that this is a case that's important and that we want them to retry all three of these guys for murder, all the better.
I would say the difference between 25 years ago with the milk verdict and is that today we have a lot of people who are not queer who understand what we're calling for, and what we're calling for is justice.
Transgender rights are very alive in California today, thanks to landmark legislation presented by the LGBT caucus and to Assemblymember Mark Leno, who named Teresa Sparks the first transgender woman of the year.
I think it's recognized around the world that San Francisco is at the vanguard, the cutting edge of transgender rights, which is the new civil rights movement in the United States.
In San Francisco, I'm Ken Ludden reporting for QTV News Magazine.